Welcome back to my channel Celebuzz. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Alan Hale Jr. truly hated his co-star more than anyone. Alan Hale Jr. was born Alan Hale Mahanan, March 8, 1921 in Los Angeles, California. He was the son of a famous actor named Alan Hale Sr., who was a popular actor in many of Errol Flynn's adventure movies. This family connection to Hollywood gave Alan Hale Jr. early experience with the entertainment business, setting up a long and busy career that would last over 4 decades. Alan's acting journey started in the late 1930s when he began taking small parts in movies, slowly working his way into bigger and more important roles. His tall, big frame and naturally friendly personality made him a perfect fit for parts that needed a strong but kind-hearted person. During the 1940s, Hale put his acting dreams on hold to serve his country during World War II. He joined the U.S. Coast Guard, showing the same loyalty and love of country that would later show up in the characters he played. After the war, he went back to acting with new energy, appearing in many westerns, dramas, and adventure movies. His early work included parts in the West Point Story 1950, Silverlode 1954, and Up Periscope 1959, among many others. He became a regular face in the popular television boom of the 1950s and 1960s, with guest appearances in shows such as Perry Mason, Maverick, The Lone Ranger, Rawhide, and The Andy Griffith Show, where his natural charm made him a favorite with viewers. However, it was his casting as the skipper, Captain Jonas Grumby, in Gilligan's Island, 1964 to 1967, that would forever make his place in American pop culture. As the skipper, Hale created one of television's most lasting comedic partnerships with Bob Denver's Gilligan. The chemistry between the two actors was electric, and Hale's performance brought depth to a character that could have easily been one-dimensional. His acting was equal parts tough captain and soft-hearted father figure, delivering comedic anger one moment and tender support the next. He famously took his job to young viewers seriously, often staying in character for public appearances and charity events, understanding that to a generation of children, he really was the skipper. Unlike some actors who stayed away from their most famous roles, Hale fully accepted his identity as the skipper. He appeared in many television reunion specials, commercials, and even made personal appearances in character well into the 1980s. His real love for the fans and his humble acceptance of his role in their lives spoke volumes about his character. Hale never allowed typecasting to make him bitter. Instead, he wore the skipper hat with pride, becoming a symbol of old-fashioned goodness, friendship, and leadership. After the end of Gilligan's Island, a show that had firmly made Alan Hale Jr. a beloved television figure, he did not rest on his success, but instead actively looked for a diverse range of roles across television and film, showing his versatility and lasting appeal as a character actor. Throughout the late 1960s, 1970s, and into the 1980s, Hale was a familiar face on television screens, guest starring on a wide variety of popular series that spanned multiple genres. His appearances included action-packed westerns such as The Wild Wild West, where his rugged charm and physicality were put to good use in this blend of spy thriller and frontier adventure. He also appeared on Here Come the Brides, a series that combined drama and comedy in the Pacific Northwest during the 19th century, adding to his collection of period pieces. Hale's talents also extended into more whimsical and fantasy realms. He was featured on Batman, the iconic 1960s series known for its campy humor and colorful villains. Here, Hale fit right in with the show's playful tone, engaging audiences with his natural warmth and comic timing. His work on Land of the Giants and the Virginia further showed his ability to adapt to science fiction and classic Western formats, respectively, making sure he remained relevant to the changing tastes of television audiences. Comedy and drama both found a home in Hale's extensive TV guest roles. On Here's Lucy, he showed his comedic skills alongside Lucille Ball, one of television's greatest comedic legends. Meanwhile, on medical drama, Marcus Welby, MD, Hale took on more serious roles, displaying his range beyond comedic archetypes. His work on The Paul Lynde Show and The Love Boat again highlighted his ability to fit into ensemble casts, contributing to lighthearted, feel-good television that appealed to family audiences. In the crime and mystery genre, Hale appeared in shows like Crazy Like a Fox and Murder, she wrote, proving that even in his later years, he was willing and able to take on parts in complex narratives, maintaining a steady presence on TV screens well into the 1980s. In addition to his steady television work, Hale continued to pursue roles in feature films, often in projects that allowed him to play to his strengths as a charismatic, likable character actor. The mid-1970s saw him take a starring role in The Giant Spider Invasion, 1975, a cult horror film that took advantage of the era's fascination with monster movies and B-movie thrills. His involvement in such genre films kept his name circulating among both fans of mainstream Hollywood and more niche audiences. He followed this with A Rollin' Angel's Revenge, 1978, an action film that blended elements of crime, vigilante justice, and martial arts, further cementing his status as a versatile supporting actor able to adapt to different cinematic styles. In 1983, Hale co-starred in Hambone and Hilly, a heartwarming comedy drama featuring legendary silent film star Lillian Gish in one of her final roles. The film, which focused on the touching bond between a dog and its owner, allowed Hale to display a gentler side, underscoring his ability to evoke empathy and warmth on screen. The following year, he appeared in the comedy Johnny Dangerously, 1984, a spoof of gangster movies starring Michael Keaton, where Hale's comedic timing added depth to the film's lighthearted parody. Beyond acting, Hale also embraced opportunities outside of traditional roles, notably becoming a spokesman for a car dealership in Victoria, British Columbia. This role in commercial advertising reflected his continued popularity and trustworthy public persona, allowing him to connect with audiences in a more direct personal way beyond the screen. In 1987, Hale returned to the horror genre with a starring role in Terror Night, a film that catered to fans of the slasher and thriller craze of the 1980s. This role reaffirmed his willingness to participate in diverse genres and his commitment to work that entertained a wide variety of viewers. Later that same year, he made a touching return to the big screen with a cameo appearance, alongside his longtime Gilligan's Island co-star Bob Denver in Back to the Beach, 1987. This film was a nostalgic comedy that celebrated and parodied the beach party movies of the 1960s, and Hale's appearance in it served as a fitting bookend to his enduring career, attribute to the show that had first launched him into the public eye and a celebration of his lasting legacy in television history. Through these decades of work, Alan Hale Jr. remained a beloved figure in American entertainment, proving that even after the enormous success of Gilligan's Island, he was far from a one-hit wonder. Instead, he embraced every opportunity to entertain, adapt, and contribute meaningfully to the worlds of television and film right up until the end of his career. Outside of acting, Alan Hale Jr. was also a successful businessman. For a time, he owned a popular restaurant in Los Angeles called Alan Hale's Lobster Barrel, where he would often greet customers personally. His down-to-earth personality and friendly manner made it a local favorite. This venture reflected Hale's commitment to staying connected with people, never retreating into celebrity isolation, but instead continuing to live among and serve the public with the same friendliness for which he was admired on screen. Alan Hale Jr., best known for his iconic role as the Jolly Skipper on Gilligan's Island, experienced significant chapters in his personal life through his two marriages. His first marriage took place on March 12, 1943 in Hollywood, a city buzzing with the golden age of cinema and the dreams of many actors and entertainers. He wed Bettina Reed Dare, a woman who would become an important part of his early family life. Together, Alan and Bettina built a family foundation, welcoming 4 children into their lives: Alan, Brian, Chris, Lana, and Dorian. Each child brought unique joy and challenges to their household, and Alan balanced the demands of fatherhood alongside his growing acting career. Despite the happiness that children often bring, the pressures and changes that life and career shifts imposed eventually caused strain in their relationship. After some years, Alan Hale Jr. and Bettina Reed Dare decided to part ways, culminating in a divorce. Though the exact circumstances and timing of their separation remain private, this split marked the end of an important era in Hale's life. Following this period, Alan's personal life took a hopeful turn. In 1964, he married Naomi Grace Ingram, a former singer whose own artistic talents likely resonated with Alan's passion for performance and entertainment. Naomi brought a different dynamic into his life, a steady partner who stood by him through the ups and downs of his acting career. Their marriage was marked by lasting commitment and companionship, lasting until Alan's death decades later. Naomi's presence offered him emotional support and stability, grounding him as he continued to enjoy success and navigate the complexities of Hollywood life. Their partnership was a testament to enduring love and mutual respect, lasting through both personal challenges and professional triumphs. Together, these two marriages shaped not only Alan Hale Jr.'s personal journey, but also influenced the man behind the beloved characters he portrayed on screen. His children from the first marriage carried forward his legacy, while his second marriage to Naomi brought him companionship and unwavering support until his final days. Among the many relationships and dynamics that shaped Alan Hale Jr.'s life and career, His relationship with Bob Denver stands out as particularly complex and surprisingly filled with deep tension. While Alan Hale Jr. is best remembered and beloved for his role as the Jolly Skipper on Gilligan's Island, a show that brought him immense popularity and fan adoration, behind the scenes, his interactions with Bob Denver, the actor who played Gilligan, the bumbling but lovable first mate, were far from harmonious. In fact, sources close to the show and industry insiders have often remarked that Alan Hale Jr. harbored a level of animosity and resentment toward Bob Denver that eclipsed any other personal or professional conflicts in his life. This deep-seated dislike seemed rooted in a variety of factors, both personal and professional. On the surface, Gilligan's Island was a classic television sitcom that relied heavily on the chemistry between its cast members. Yet beneath the laughter and camaraderie that the show portrayed on screen, tensions simmered backstage, particularly between Hale and Denver. Alan Hale Jr. reportedly felt overshadowed by Bob Denver, whose character was often the center of the show's comedic situations and attention. Despite Hale's own considerable talents and charisma, there was a persistent feeling that Denver received the lion's share of praise, fan attention, and industry recognition. This disparity likely fueled a growing resentment in Hale, who, although always professional, found it increasingly difficult to share the spotlight with Denver. Moreover, Bob Denver's personality and working style may have contributed to the friction. While Denver was known to be charismatic and engaging, those who worked closely with him often described him as somewhat self-centered and occasionally difficult to get along with. Alan Hale Jr., a consummate professional with a grounded and steady demeanor, may have found these traits clashing sharply with his own values and approach to work. The two men had very different temperaments and outlooks, which inevitably led to friction during long hours on set, promotional tours, and other professional settings. Their rivalry reportedly extended beyond mere professional competition to more personal disagreements. Anecdotes from cast and crew hint at moments of sharp words, subtle jabs, and cold shoulders exchanged between the two. It's said that Alan Hale Jr. truly hated Bob Denver in a way that went beyond typical industry rivalries. This was a deep personal dislike that colored much of their off-camera interactions. Whether it stemmed from jealousy, clashes in personality, or unresolved grievances, this animosity was something that stayed with Hale for many years. Interestingly, this hatred was not widely known to the public during the show's original run, as both actors maintained a veneer of professionalism in public appearances and interviews. However, in later years, as the cast members gave interviews reflecting on their experiences, the tension between Hale and Denver became more apparent. Some cast members expressed surprise that two actors who worked so closely together and portrayed such a memorable friendship on screen could harbor subtle feelings in private. Alan Hale Jr.'s hatred of Bob Denver was therefore a complex and multi-layered aspect of his life, one that reminds us how the realities of Hollywood relationships often diverge sharply from the idealized friendships we see on television. It also highlights the emotional toll that the entertainment industry can take as actors navigate fame, competition, and personal differences behind the scenes. Despite the lasting success of Gilligan's Island and the enduring affection fans hold for the Skipper and Gilligan characters, the truth behind Alan Hale Jr.'s feelings towards Bob Denver adds a bittersweet dimension to the story of the show and its iconic cast. Alan Hale Jr. passed away on January 2, 1990, after a courageous battle with thymus cancer. This rare form of cancer affects the thymus gland, a small organ located in the upper chest that plays a role in the immune system. Hale's illness had progressively taken a toll on his health, yet he remained remembered for his warmth, humor, and professionalism throughout his life. At the time of his passing, he was 68 years old, having lived a full life dedicated to entertaining audiences across film and television. He died at St. Vincent Medical Center, a well-respected hospital located in Los Angeles, California, known for its comprehensive care and advanced medical facilities. His death marked the end of an era for many fans who had come to know him best as the Jolly Skipper from Gilligan's Island, a role that had become iconic and beloved across generations. Following his death, Alan Hale Jr.'s body was cremated in accordance with his family's wishes. Cremation is a process that reduces the body to ashes through high-temperature burning, a practice chosen by many for its simplicity and the ability to memorialize loved ones in unique and personal ways. After the cremation, Hale's ashes were scattered into the Pacific Ocean, a symbolic gesture that reflected both a return to nature and perhaps a nod to the maritime adventures of his most famous character. The vast Pacific Ocean, with its endless horizon and sense of freedom, provided a fitting final resting place for an actor whose legacy was so deeply intertwined with the sea and island life. At the memorial service and commemorative events surrounding his passing, Dawn Wells, who played Mary Ann Summers on Gilligan's Island, represented the surviving cast members. Her attendance was deeply meaningful, symbolizing the bond shared among the cast and the lasting impact the show had in their lives. Wells's presence was not only a tribute to Hale's memory, but also a gesture of respect and affection from the entire cast, who remained close even years after the show ended. This solidarity highlighted the enduring friendships formed during their time together and underscored the significance of Gilligan's Island in television history. In recognition of his considerable contributions to the television industry, Alan Hale Jr. was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This prestigious accolade is located at 6653 Hollywood Boulevard, one of the busiest and most famous stretches of the walk, visited by millions of tourists and fans every year. The Hollywood Walk of Fame star serves as a permanent tribute to his influence and success in entertainment, immortalizing his name alongside other legends of film and television. This star symbolizes not only his work as an actor, but also the joy and laughter he brought to countless viewers worldwide, ensuring that his legacy endures for generations to come.